Greetings traders, it's Tuesday, November 18th, 2014, and I'm back for another day of trading. I'm in late today again. But earlier I was figuring out the code. And when I did that, I could, when you figure the code out, you should always look to see how far, what it's good for. Okay, you want to know what it's good for. And if it's only good for 10 or 15 or something like that, then you know it's tight. And that's what it's been the last, since I've been looking at it. Last hour and a half or so, it's really tight. The code is. It's not going very far. In other words, the chart's just going sideways. If you were to look at the 10-minute chart right now, you see it's just going 100% sideways right now. So one way you can keep yourself out of just getting into a tight day that's not going to do anything anyway is just to measure the code, which is, ideally what you're supposed to be doing anyway. So I didn't take any trades because of that. Even though I figured out what the code is, the code's not good for anything. It's just really super tight. So what I'm doing now is I'm just seeing if I can get a code 2, 1 trade per day. The code 2 today was good for, let's see, 75. It was good for right about 100 ticks. Yeah, right about 100 ticks. Really close. And I'm just seeing if I can get a code 2 entry today to do the 1 trade per day strategy, because that's basically all that's left for today. I don't have anything left. And if it's going to stay tight, it just won't give an entry. But if it gives an entry, either long or short, then it probably will open up and make enough of a move to make 20 ticks anyway. So, but anyway, the last couple of days have not been good for the time that I've been coming in to trade. I've been coming in too late. A lot of times it is good, but the last 2 days it hasn't been. So I doubt that'll keep up, though. It'll start getting good. Otherwise, I'm going to be forced into getting up early, which I don't want to do. I mean, I like, trading and showing how effective the system is and everything, but I just don't like getting up early. So anyway, I'll come back and I'll see if we can get a 1 trade per day strategy today and go for quick 20 ticks. Okay, I have just taken a short entry here, and this is the code 2, 1 trade per day. Short entry has been triggered. Code 2 says go short. I'm only going for a quick 20 ticks. This one could be worth more than that. This one, if you wanted to go for it, you could, like maybe 30 or 40 even. But I'm just going to keep the math high and go for 20 ticks. 1 trade per day strategy. I'll come right back. This may not take very long. It may just drop out here. But I will come back shortly and show you the progression and, of course, the outcome of this trade. But this is going to be my one and only trade for today. After this, the day is going to be done. So I'll be right back. Just wanted to show you really quick that it has begun moving down a little bit. Moved down to 42. Still got a ways to go. It should be able to hit the 20 ticks. The mathematics is built into that, so there's no reason for me to do anything other than just let it go and let it hit the exit. It should mathematically hit it with a pretty high percentage, 80% chance, I think. So go with the math. Remember what I always say, go with the math. Okay, I'll be right back. And by the way, just to point something out really quick, remember I told you that it's been really super tight and the code hasn't even gone like 20 ticks? It's only now at the code 2 does it start to make a move. I mean, it's just finally now getting ready to break out of its range. It's been in a range for hours. For for 3 hours. It's been in a very tight range. Hasn't even gone 20 ticks. Up and down, pretty much. And it's only now at the code 2 does it finally break out and break through the range. It's almost broken through right now. About 5, 6, 7 ticks down, it'll be broken through the range. Which, a little bit broken through, a little bit more than that. It's just my 20 ticks. But that's high math. Keeping the math high. Okay, I'll come back. My point, though, is that look at the power of code 2. Give you an idea. This is the 10-minute chart here, see? And you see it going down. See, this line's showing you where we're at right there. And it's starting to break through this range that it was in. And, once it breaks through right there, it's basically going to hit my exit. But that's okay. I mean, like I said, if we wanted to go for 30 or 40 and bring it down a little further, we could. But my whole methodology or philosophy that I've been teaching is when you're trading, you want to keep your math high. The code, by default, allows for that. And get your math high, both on the entry and on the exit. See, the entry is super important, but so is the exit. See what I'm saying? It's not what you could have made, it's what you did make. And so the exit is very, very important, just as the entry is. So that's why if you just keep the math high at all times, you'll come out ahead. It's when you start messing with the math that things start to go haywire. Sure, it goes good here and it goes good there, but then it takes a mathematical flop and just, That's why if you always keep the math high, you're always in high math. And you're doing well. This 20-tick exit is high mathematics. I got a good entry into code 2. It's high math. No reason to go for less. No reason, and the mathematics goes down if you go for more. Anyway, just wanted to show you that regardless of what the chart is saying, like normally a chart player would say, oh, don't put your exit right there. Go down further, because once it breaks, it might go. But even though the chart says that, the math says, And the math isn't as good. Math is really good with 20, though. Anyway, just wanted to show that to you really quick. I'll come back. It'll make it to the exit. And here we are back to the 1 minute again. You see where my entry is here. And you see it only went up a few ticks above my entry to go short. And the rest of the time it's just gone down. Precision level entry into the trade. And then now, so the entry is right. Now it's just a matter of hitting the exit. Mathematics. Regardless of whether it comes back up right here and tops up here again, as long as it makes it to the exit. See, the whole code system is all math. Simple, basic math. Very, 2 plus 2 equals 4 type math. But still, 2 plus 2 equals 4, doesn't it? Doesn't equal 5, doesn't equal 3, doesn't equal 6. It equals 4. So it's simple, it's basic, it's logical, it's not subjective. That's what's so wonderful about the system. Anyway, I'll come back. I'll be back shortly. Again, I just want to demonstrate, like a lot of people right here, a lot of traders, and even me before I knew the code, would want to get out right here. They want to take what profit they've got and run. Right? Or put a break-even stop, and then it comes up and hits your break-even stop, then you make nothing. It used to happen to me all the time. And so, but now, I know mathematically that once I've taken that entry, it's going to hit the exit. All I have to do is hang on. That's it. And to go for 20, that way you do get out. If you go for 30, the mathematics go down, and a lot of times you won't get out, so you won't hit the critical exit. Anyway, I'll come back. Looks like it's gonna try to go for the exit here. Where did it go to? 35. I'm at 31. 4 ticks away. It's okay. I mean, I'm not at all worried about it. This is what I'd like to stress about the code, is that mathematically, this is built in. 20 ticks. I know that seems weird. For those of you who know the code, you understand, but for those of you who don't know the code, you probably think, oh, that's crazy, but it's not. It's not crazy, and it's one of the beautiful things about using the code and trading the code in your trading. It's going to make it to 20 ticks. There's no reason to get out here, no reason to panic. It's going to make the 20 ticks. I mean, not 100% mathematical certainty, but you always play the mathematics. If it does it 80% of the time, then guess what? You don't bet that this is the 20%. You always go with the 80. Okay, I'll be back. I just wanted to show you that it has come all the way back up from 35, which is 4 ticks away from my exit, all the way back up to 48, which is 2 ticks or 3 ticks under my entry, right? Now watch. I just want you to watch the magic that before the end of the day, it'll reach the exit. Mathematics. And the code. I'll be back. Also notice that it just went to 50 right there. So if I'd have had a break-even stop right there at 50, I'd be clipped off right there. Break-even stop clipped off. Now what's it doing? Going back down. And watch, it'll hit the exit for 20 ticks. Mathematics says it will. So, like I said earlier, the only thing I need to do is just hang on to it and let it hit the exit. Okay, I'll be back. Just trying to go for the exit here. Where are we at? 34, 33, just a few ticks away. Again, I'm not worried about it. It's going to make it mathematically. So no reason to do anything other than either watch it or just walk away and not even pay attention. At this point, though, it would be appropriate to put a break-even stop at it, because we're late in the day. Only got about, let's see, an hour and a half left. So it's got an hour and a half before it needs to hit that exit. And if it didn't, then it could hit the break-even instead. But it just hit it. So there you go. And all I had to do was hang on to it. Oh, and by the way, I'm not sure if I showed this to you or not. Let's see, 32 was I think 32 was the exit or something like that. No, 31 was the exit. So 51 was the entry. 51 was like the entry. Look where it went. Went to 58. So it went 7 past the entry before it finally dropped out. But the code 2 was right, and it was right for 20 ticks. Math very high. This is how you do successful trading, by having a really good quality system like code 1, code 2 system, and using it properly, not getting out. A lot of people, the way they play, every time they lose the full amount, and then every time they win, they only win half the amount, because they got scared and got out and wanted to take some profit, but didn't hit the full profit. But then every time they lose, they hit the full loss. See, that's bad math. Playing that kind of mathematics, you'll get slaughtered. So you've got to play, 1-to-1 at a minimum. But the way that the code allows you to play is usually I can play 20 on the exit, but then limit it to 10 on the stop. That's very good math. Now all you got to do is get your entries higher than 50%, and you're making, well, actually even 50%, you're making money. But if you get it higher than that, you're really making money. And if you can get it to 70, 80%, then you're cleaning house. And that's basically what you're doing with the code. That's the whole trick, the whole secret behind the whole thing, and the secret behind trading in general. But the code gives you your precision level entries with a precision level exit. Very important. So there's another demonstration of the one trade per day. Yesterday I was going to take it, but it didn't give an entry. Today it did. It's good for 20 ticks. When I'm coming in like around, well, 10 o'clock in the morning or so, and I'm looking at the code and looking at the chart. It's just going sideways the last couple days, so I haven't been able to really take any code 1 entries. And today is the first entry I got off of the code 2. But the previous earlier this morning, like 6 o'clock in the morning my time, 9 o'clock on the East Coast on New York time, it's good. It's really good. Code 2 is good for 100 ticks. Code 1 is very good. It was hitting the 20 tick exits, no problem. It's just that by the time I got in, that's when it went sideways. That's one thing when you measure the code, when you figure the code out, measure the code and figure out how much it's good for. That way you know what the code is running. And I could easily see it was running really tight, just going up and down sideways in a sideways motion, not going anywhere to hit your exits. It's not just the entry, it's also the exit that you must hit. So measure the code, and that'll really help you. It'll help you not to get in when it's going sideways. Because when you measure it, or you figure it out, you measure it at the same time, you'll see that it's not hitting the exit. It's not going 20 ticks. But at other times, you'll see it's running 30 ticks, 40 ticks, and you say, ooh, this thing's moving. And so you know you can hit your 20s no problem. In fact, if it really is moving big, you can go for it. Go for it and play it tight off the 20. Once it gets past the 20, lock in that 20 and let it go to hit 30, 40 ticks. You can play it that way too. Anyway, I am going to get going for the day. I'll be back tomorrow to do some more trading. And, it's not going to last like this every day. Soon it'll open up and I'll be able to take code 1 entries during my normal time, plus take the 1 trade per day strategy. It's easy. It's easy because this is a good, the code works 24 hours a day. So whatever time is good for you, it's good for the code. Now, if you wanted to trade over the next 5, 6, 7 hours, not going to be so good. Actually, the rest of the day until the euro won't be very good. But after that, the euro and the USA all day long is really good. I say there's about a quality 12 hours of trading oil that you can do every day and use the code on it and make a lot of money from it. Depending upon where your time zone is in the world, you have more of an advantage than others. Like, for instance, people in Europe have a big advantage. People in Southeast Asia have a big advantage because of their time zone. They get to trade all 12 hours during their waking hours. Whereas over here on the West Coast, it's pretty tough because I got to play either one or the other. I can't play both unless I want to stay up all night long. On the East Coast, like in New York, you can do well, but you can't really play everything unless you want to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And most people don't want to do that. Don't blame them. Neither do I. But if you're on Southeast Asia, that's 3 o'clock in the afternoon to you. 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 12 midnight. Piece of cake. If you're in Europe, it's something similar, but earlier. It's instead of like 3 p.m., it's like, I'm not sure exactly, but 9 o'clock in the morning or something like that. And you would basically trade all day long until like 9 o'clock at night or something like that, just around there. So you see, during your waking hours out there on that side of the world, you can clean house trading oil. Whereas on this side of the world, we're a bit limited. And if you're in Hawaii, for instance, like, which is one of my favorite places, but if you're in Hawaii, oh man, that's like the worst place you could possibly be in the whole world. Because it's either, you can trade from 12 midnight to like, 9 o'clock, to 12 noon if you want. I mean, what a horrible schedule. But some people do things like that for far less money than what you could make trading oil, that's for sure. So it just all depends on what you want. Let's say you just want to keep it simple. It doesn't matter what time it is in the world. You want to just trade one trade per day. You could do that. Just do the one trade per day code 2 strategy. It bats about a 70% accuracy. Long-term 70% accuracy, but you can up that accuracy a little bit by doing a couple things. There's a couple things that you can do. You can up it to about 75, even 80%. So that's pretty good. Between 70 and 80% accuracy, you can get this trade to, which is pretty darn good playing one-to-one. It's just one trade per day. It's a long-term strategy. It builds and makes money. And you can build the contracts on it slowly and take it up. So yeah, it's a great trade. One trade per day. Anyway, I am going to get going. I will be back tomorrow. Take more trades. I'll be back every day pretty much till I take a vacation. And showing the power of knowing my code system that I discovered and developed. I'll be back tomorrow. Happy trading, traders.